week. Even this one right here. Tory Lanez stabbed in prison. And then now Kelsey, the frenemy of Megan Thee Stallion, who was alleged to have been sleeping with Tory, might be the shooter.
Wow.
There have been new updates in the Megan Thee Stallion's 2020 shooting case. Not only has Tory Lanez, who was convicted in the case, been attacked while serving his prison sentence, but Megan's former bestie, Kelsey Harris, is back in the hot seat. This is the hottie. After her bodyguard came forward with a new statement. Now, before we even get into the update, let's just find out what happened to good old Tory. A few days ago, news broke that Tory Lanez was stabbed in prison and airlifted to a hospital. Now, they're saying that he was stabbed like 14 times. He didn't die.
14 times.
Let's give him a round of applause. He didn't die.
Yep. Give him applause. He didn't die, man.
It would be too much.
That right there,
stabbed and killed in prison. Okay.
That right there is a.
All right. Well, the following day, an updated statement was posted to his Instagram. Take a look. Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. A few days later, it was revealed that Tory Lanez was reportedly stabbed by a fellow inmate named Santino Casio. He is currently serving a life sentence for murder. Let me show you a picture of the suspect. This is the guy that they say stabbed him.
That guy looks like a murderer.
Well, Casio, who's been in prison since February 2004, was put in restricted housing pending an investigation into Tory's stabbing, which WAC 100 believes was race and gang motivated. Now, Tory Lanez is currently serving 10 years for allegedly shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion.
Allegedly, he's right.
Once said they were never together. At least she told Gayle King that. Then later in a documentary admitted that they were involved. The rumor on the street, and I'm the street, was that these three were all at Kylie Jenner's house. Lots and lots of alcohol. They were super drunk. Tory, who was allegedly sleeping with Kelsey and also allegedly sleeping with Meg, ended up hitting on Kylie Jenner. Kylie put them all out the house in the car. They on the way driving with the bodyguard. Fight breaks out. All of a sudden, pow, pow. And she is shot. Well, from day one, Tory's been saying that he didn't do it. From day 2, everybody said she did it. And every day, Megan said Tory did it. But Megan was so drunk, she probably don't know who did it. The internet was divided. Megan never came on our show because she thought we sided with Tory or whatever. Or maybe she had too much to drink and forgot the address. Either way, she never showed up. Okay? Now, Megan was shot in her feet back in July of 2020. Now, in December 2022, Tory got convicted of all 3 charges related to the crime: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Now, during the trial, Tory's defense team tried to prove his innocence by alleging that Kelsey was guilty as the shooter. However, that claim fell through. Now, especially important to note is that Tory never took the stand, and Kelsey pleaded the 5th and was granted immunity. 2.5 years after Tory's conviction, Kelsey's bodyguard now has come forward alleging that she fired the gun that shot Megan Thee Stallion, and this is what the lawyer had to say about that statement.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm, Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This
You know, at one point I was going to write a letter to Trump and ask him to pardon this guy because honestly, there's no reason he should be in jail. An innocent person right now is sitting in jail. I'm sure there's probably a ton of just hearing this story alone could tell you that there's probably so many other innocent people that are just sitting in jail. But the sad part is that when you ask a person if they've done their crime, if you're in jail, most of them say they're innocent. So, but in this case, no fingerprints, no nothing. I mean, Tory should never have gone to jail for this, ever.
further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson. Even though unknown.
Wait a second. So you're saying, look at that. So you're telling me that there was 3 other people in the car and the only person they took DNA samples from was Tory? Think about that. Think of they only took they only took DNA samples from one individual. It sounds to me like they were setting him up right from the beginning. I don't know. This sounds too much like a setup. I'm not sure why they would have set him up, but it sounds a lot like a setup.
Known DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
So now with this new information and Kelsey, taking her little deal, what happens now? Free Tory or not?
I've been saying free Tory. I've been saying some things weird about Kelsey,
100%.
and everyone thought I was crazy. So what? Respect
Free
to the
Tory.
law.
Free him or what?
Free him.
I mean, I think, of course, he's going to have a day in court to be freed, but
And he's been saying.
How does he
this
have a
to
date to
everyone.
be? No,
If
he
there's
ain't.
new
No,
evidence that
no.
comes up.
That means they either need to appeal with the new evidence,
yeah.
or the governor has to give him immunity. At this point, Governor Newsom is ruining California. He should just let him out, right?
I don't know.
Okay, well, listen, there's a whole other situation going on now where Tory's team is alleging that the rapper was stabbed shortly after a news outlet contacted Megan Thee Stallion's team about their new information. Take a look.
Oh
We've
my!
been made aware that a member of the media.
Before we get into this, you're telling okay, so obviously, if somebody told Meg Thee Stallion's team that he was getting out and there's new evidence, and then all of a sudden Tory gets stabbed and almost killed, and he gets because getting stabbed once is one thing, or getting into a fight is another, but stabbed 14 times in prison, that person's trying to kill you. They want you dead. So Meg Thee Stallion obviously has something going on here, or she's speaking to someone, giving information to someone that is leaking it to someone else, where that person is now pulling some strings. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell.
Oh,
I don't know. It's getting really spicy. So are they now saying that Megan probably put a hit on him? Is that what they're saying?
The fact that guy's serving life in prison, I'm like, I don't know how this works, jail stuff, but I'm intrigued.
Intrigued by what point, Marina? What's intriguing? Wait. What is intriguing about prison?
The guy's
Like how
probably
messages are delivered. What are you promised? If you're serving life in prison,
No,
then what
oodles
have I
and
got?
noodles. They will kill you for noodles.
You know, I just started Prison Break, that show, so I'm really interested now in prison stuff.
Okay.
It's
well,
really
listen,
old.
Chris Brown has now surfaced, and he immediately reacted to the updates and said this on a story. Free Tory. Tory has also started a petition
That's all he
seeking
said.
signatures from a pardon from Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. He hopes that Newsom corrects a deep injustice. Take a look at the petition. You can go right over there and sign it. Mm-hmm.
I don't think Gavin Newsom.
If he didn't
Gavin
do it,
Newsom's
he
going
should
to
be
do any of
freed,
that.
and he should be compensated for the time he did have to spend in jail. But I think they do have to prove what actually happened.
Prove what?
If Tory Lanez is found to be not guilty, and she said she saw him shoot her, and it's revealed that she shot her and he didn't do it, she needs to go to prison.
I don't.
Really?
think it
Oh,
would work that way.
1,000%.
I agree
you
wholeheartedly.
crazy?
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know if it would work.
Rob,
that way.
you know what's so crazy? You have selective amnesia.
Yeah, it sounds like he's a Meg Thee Stallion fan. That's what it sounds like. Because honestly, it's true. If she set him up, which it's looking like she did, it looks like she set him up. And if she set him up, then at that point, go to jail. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, what color of skin you got, whatever. In these type of situations, if you're gonna lie and set somebody up and send them to jail and give them 10 years and then go on all these talk shows and all these things and talk as if, this person messaged me from jail and all these other things to make it look like Tory Lanez is some crazy ass. You need to be in jail. And I didn't even like that performance she did on Kamala Harris, on the stage with Kamala Harris. It was ridiculous. That performance was trash. But anyway, I don't have anything against Meg Thee Stallion. I just think that performance was garbage. And I also think that she should go to jail for setting up Tory Lanez. And the other girl, I honestly think that she should have her time in court too. The wrong person was sent to jail in this situation, 100%.
You don't never know anything. You don't never recall anything. You can never think of anything. You sound like Marina giving me the Instagram to the dancer.
No,
I'm
he
saying.
was saying, "Oh, you never gave me
Hold
the."
on.
I'm
We're not even
saying-
talking about that. The point is that you never remember. Let me be very clear. Let me just give you a straight question to see if you, with
Oh,
all your little
God.
black historical college education, can think through this. Okay.
Sure.
She said that he shot her. She saw him shoot. She saw him shoot her.
Correct.
The lawyer is now saying that the bodyguard who was in the car, who was sober, who was guarding the bodies, saw her shoot her.
Mm-hmm.
If it's proven that the bodyguard is true, that the corroborating witness, which would be Tory, says yes, and then she's found to have been involved or lied, and he's freed, the question is simple. Should she go to prison?
You changed the conversation.
Ah,
No,
yes,
he
you
didn't.
did. Yes, you did.
Listen.
No, I'm saying I was going to say before you cut me off.
Liar.
I was going to say, in order for her to go to jail for this, it would have to be proven that she conspired to lie and set Tory up.
But even if she didn't conspire, why would you say
Hold
Tory
on.
shot me?
Again, I like when people cut me off. I don't let me finish my thought. I'm
Don't
saying,
try to be a victim because you want to fix
not
it
being a
now.
victim
Because you
because-
were a minute ago. I don't know. I don't have enough information.
correct. I was saying, should she go to jail because she said she didn't, because she thought this person did it? No, you have to
Yeah.
prove that she. No, you have to prove that she intended to lie. What I'm saying is, if she was just confused in the moment, no, she shouldn't go to jail. But if
Confused
No,
in the
even
moment.
if she was confused, because to
Confused in
still
a
accuse
Oh my
moment?
someone.
gosh, the confusing the moment.
I've never been shot or shot at. You
I have.
Correct. You have. So
And
I'm
when
saying,
I found out who did, you know what I said? He
He did
did
it.
it.
Correct.
And the people that did it were convicted. Now that'd be like me coming back and saying, I really lied. They did it.
correct. But
No.
what I'm saying is there an instance where I believe I could be drunk and a gun comes out and I get shot and I didn't exactly see who did it, but I believe this person did it?
Yeah,
Yes. So
yeah,
I'm saying
but
it would have to be proven that she intended to lie and
if you believe somebody did it, then you have to say, I don't know who did it. It's just as plain as that. It's if you end up getting shot, if there's three people in a room and you're drunk and you don't know, and you end up getting shot, you don't know who did it. You know, you say, yeah, I'm shot, but honestly, I have no idea who did it. That's where forensics comes in. And that's the thing here is that proper forensics was not completed because they did forensics on Tory Lanez and they found no fingerprints, no nothing on the gun, and everybody else no forensics. So how are you going to get the answer? How are you going to get the correct answer if you don't do proper forensics at a fucking crime scene? Got me cursing now. At a crime scene. I thought that was mandatory. I thought you can get it. It's ridiculous. I honestly thought that it was mandatory, but hell, but you know what? Then again, it's in California, and I've heard some crazy stories about California. Gavin Newsom, for him to pardon Tory Lanez, I don't know if he's going to do that. I don't know. Even if Donald Trump walked up to him and said, "Hey, I need this guy pardoned," I still don't think Gavin Newsom would pardon him because he's run that place into the ground. I haven't been there. I don't know, but I'm just going off of what the people that have lived there and people that currently live there, videos, all these things, just watching these things, and he has run that place into the ground. So chances of him saying, yes, please let this guy go, I think is very, 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 very slim. Hopefully he does though, because Tory Lanez deserves to be freed. And hopefully they go through the case, and if not, they go through the case and they find him innocent because he needs to be freed. However, I'm not sure if they stabbed him 14 times. It's sad to say that I don't know if he has another day to be in jail because they just might set him up and they might actually add in the guards and everybody else in this time, right? And yeah, then it's another issue. But anyway, let's keep going.
Set Tory up, then if that's the case, she should absolutely go to jail. But if she just didn't know who did it and she thought he was the person who did it and everybody around her saying he did it, then no, she shouldn't go to jail. She just didn't know what happened.
Everybody around her wasn't around her. It was only them four.
You're talking about perjury.
Hold on.
Correct.
Hold on. And guess what?
Correct.
Tory DM'd me some time ago. I never like to put receipts out, but let me go ahead and just pull it
Man,
out.
free him.
I'm going to tell you exactly what Tory said to me. Hold on. Tory Lanez. Let me go back.
This is why I like Jason Lee.
Dates. Hold on.
At least I like his show. He's a pretty good show. He knows how to interview people.
Lanez. Okay.
Except for that Candace one. That was tough.
In the text message between Tory and I said, yo. He said, what's good? I said, how you surviving that bullshit? Wish we could have sat down before you left. Because you know me and him hung out with Madonna when they were messing around. Don't believe me? Take a look at this photo.
He messed around with Madonna?
I said, do you have a number? He said, what's yours? Let me move on to the text messages now.
Did he say he was messing around with
text
Madonna?
each other.
Whatever. It's all.
I said, how are you?
Stuff.
How you been? He said, incredible, in very high spirits and preparing to physically come home this year. I said, when? I need to come in there and get an interview, LOL. He said, I can't say exact days, but I know I'll be home this year. I said, how long you been gone? I'm so confused by your case. He said, actually, I have a crazy plan when I get back that I think you should know and be a part of because I'm only going to do one interview.
Oh, wow.
And he said he's been gone 2.5 years. I said, I want to be a part of that plan. He said, it's honestly a bunch of suppressed evidence that was kept away from me during trial. I said, Wack told me that, but didn't say what. He said, like, through trial, they keep saying it was inconclusive on the gun DNA, but I always knew I never touched the gun, so I asked my lawyer to retest it, and sure enough, I was 102% excluded completely from everything, just like I said. I said, well, why didn't you just say who did it? Fuck doing time for something you ain't do.
Right.
He said, I took the rap for Kelsey, never wanted her to go to jail, and I never wanted Megan to get hurt or anything. So in me stopping her from getting shot, I got the raw deal. Crazy how life works. And to think they made me the poster boy for the unprotection of black women, when in all honesty, I protected 2 black women, one from getting shot and one from going to jail. Never said nothing in 8 to 10 years for them to live. It's a crazy, crazy place we live in. I said, but why you ain't just say that? Nigga, when I got shot, I told. And he said, I lost my mother at 11 years old. I couldn't sleep with myself. I was the reason for taking a mother away from her kid. I just couldn't do it.
Oh. How for the first time, I think I'm really speechless. I mean, he didn't say anything because he wanted to protect these 2 ladies. And Meg Thee Stallion has been trying to destroy him. Meg Thee Stallion has been trying to destroy this man. And he's been trying to protect her. Sounds very familiar, right, guys? No. I deal with a lot of lady foxes, and honestly, it's been rough. But let's get real here. Let's get back to this. He was trying to protect these two ladies, and so their children do not lose their mothers. Free Tory Lanez. You gotta free Tory Lanez. I mean, justice needs to be served. I mean, geez, if the Kelsey person ended up shooting, she's got to go to jail. And Meg Thee Stallion, honestly, there needs to be some sort of retribution towards Meg Thee Stallion. She's been on talk shows doing all these things and just trying to bury Tory Lanez as best as she could. She needs to go to jail as well. But I feel like if she can find someone to stab him 14 times in prison, he can find her way out of this. That's for sure. But justice needs to be served.
Tory Lanez.
He's better than me.
And again, I truly believe if Tory Lanez is innocent, he should be freed and he should be compensated for time that he was wrongly convicted. But I also believe the person who pulled the trigger, that person should go to jail. And if Meg conspired to set him up and lie on him, of course she should do time. But I'm just saying, in an instance like
seems like his college degree's working all of a sudden.
This, and
I don't like this long-winded explanation.
But the word conspired is so problematic because even if she didn't know, then she doesn't know. She can't say.
That's what I'm saying. So in an instance like this, we should all agree if I'm in a situation that I did not know what happened, I shouldn't go to jail for that. Because I wouldn't want that for you. But I'm saying if the person did lie intentionally and set the other person up, she should go to jail.
Megan, you might be going to jail, girl. Based on what he's saying,
jail time.
Look, Tory may be many things. I've been to Tory's house once. I partied with Tory once. He's not my friend. We don't chit chat like that. But if he took 10 years on the chin to protect two black women for what he's alleging, and then end up getting stabbed 14 times as a result, get him up out of there if he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
100%.
is, Kelsey, if you did it, you need to go to jail. And Megan, if you lied on that man, I will be the first one to be there and say you need to go to jail. Now, look, if this is all just one drunk night where nobody remembers anything and somebody ended up getting shot, then say that. But she said in the documentary, he did it.
Yep.
There's also clips of her online saying he shot at me from this one. I mean, her story's been changing up. Just say I was drunk and I don't remember who did it.
That's what I'm saying. Because to tell Gail she never even had sexual relations and then she did, like, it's a lot of switch up here.
It's slippery. It's Diddy juice slippery.
Jay's on the nip.
Diddy juice slippery. Don't know about that one, but what I do know is if the glove don't fit, you can finish that. Finish it. You must. For those that didn't get it, you must have quit. Jeez, when were you born? What are you like? Born in 2000s? Just kidding. No, honestly though, Tory Lanez needs to be freed. He needs to be let go. There's no reason why he should be sitting in jail. It's not fair. And we like to deal with fairness, especially when there is proof. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do. But the one thing that needs to happen is Tory needs to be let out of jail.
I walk away free cause I'm innocent. And when I walk the whole world, oh a nigga wild. We been at the gas station all night. We been at the gas station all night. They done had the bag waiting all night. Tell them that it's lit, bitch, we on fire. Ay. Praise to the Most High. Ay. Praise to the Most High. Send it praise to the Most High. Praise to the Most High.